Hey, $700. How much you owe for kids? Oh, that's your address.
Yeah.
But how much it costs?
It all depends on what they do.
Welcome to the Huddle. I'm your host, Mr. Tucker. Light skin.
What's going on, y'all? Old school.
Blue school.
JB in the building.
Back on the back.
Charlie.
Back in the back.
Special.
Yeah,
Hey, come on, man. Special guest B-Bell with the Texans and Martin with Gibson Performance Training. Let's give him a round of applause. Now, before we get in the show, we will be in Vegas this weekend. So anybody watching, if y'all want us to come through, tag the Huddle Show. We'll be in Vegas, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so look out for us. So let's get right into it. Greatest safety of all time.
Darren Wilson.
Darren Wilson.
Toss up. Ed Reed, Darren Wilson. It's toss up.
Oh.
Troy Primo.
Troy?
Yeah.
You ain't even got no hair conditioner.
That's
I'm gonna go with Ed Reed, man. Well-rounded safety.
Yeah, he's a beast. I think I'm rocking. I think I'm gonna go with Darren Wilson.
Sean Taylor.
Is this a bias comment?
You always got.
I always
You
have
right.
that flow.
You're right.
I'm just saying Sean Taylor.
Cool.
It's a beast.
So B, let's talk about the transition. What was the hardest thing for you coming from Kent State to go to the NFL? What were some of the things you had to overcome or any adversities?
I mean, the biggest thing is, now it's a business. Not to say that you took one day off on the college level, but you just got to understand, like, every day has to be your best day. You know what I mean? It can't be, there's no days off. Now that you in the NFL, you're trying to get a job, you're trying to get on a 53-man roster, which is obviously the main goal. You got to be the best, be at your best every day, because every other guy out there is at their best and trying to reach that same goal as you.
Did you work hard as far as the weight room and, getting your wind up? Was it the same workout that you did in college, or did they give you specific skill set workouts for what you was doing?
It was a little bit of both. We would have days where, we would get it in, and then we would have days where it was more position-specific work out on the field. But, I mean, at the end of the day, training is training, and, a lot of guys on the NFL level, like I said, it ranges. You got a 21-year-old coming in as a rookie. You got a guy that's been in the league for 10 plus years, so that guy that's been in the league 10 plus years might not be doing the same thing as that 21-year-old, man. But no matter what it is, you got to grind.
How much faster is the pace than like from college to NFL?
It's a difference. Everything happens a lot faster. And I mean, that's why it's only a small percentage that goes from the college level to the NFL level, on top of everything else that you have to adapt to. But the speed of the game is definitely different.
I want to talk about the playbook. So let's talk about off the field stuff. How hard is it, or how was it for you to sit down and get that big book? And like, all right, chapter 1. Was it tough for you to learn the playbooks?
In the beginning, because what they do is, and I think which is smart, try to throw as much information as possible in a small amount of time. Go out on the field, see what you can retain, and go from there. Obviously, it can be a challenge in the beginning, but as time goes on, the more time you put in the film room, more time you put in with your teammates at your position coach, the easier the transition will be. Whether if you go into your room that night and be like, oh man, I'll wake up tomorrow and do it, your chances probably be very slim. So the more you put in, more time you put in, the better off you are.
Question. So is it more important to learn the formation and are the plays just simple variation of a couple formations, or you can't rely on that? You got to know the plays. You know what I'm saying?
I think that varies team to team. You can't really speak on that, but you honestly you need to know the whole realm of the play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of times you need to know not only what you doing, but
Right.
every other position. So if I'm a wide receiver, yeah, I got to know what I'm doing at this X position, but I also need to know what the Z is doing, and the tight ends and everything else.
And shout out to Dak. I think that's one of the most remarkable things about the Cowboys' young quarterback is his ability to know where all his receivers are at any given time. No, I mean I ain't a Cowboy fan,
I know,
but
but
I got respect for
you
him.
because they probably you can speak on this. They probably run certain plays to his advantage compared to opening up the whole playbook.
He called me.
Yeah, they dumbed down the playbook for him.
They
I
did,
mean, he executed.
but he ad-libbed like Roethlisberger sometimes, man. He was in.
Before he goes and play, he calls him.
So what's your thoughts on that though? Because if they thumb down the playbook for his
We're gonna find out this year though.
the skill set, what we say that on the defense?
I mean, I can't speak on that because I'm not, in that organization or anything like that. What I will say is, he definitely had a good rookie year. Especially as a quarterback coming in as a rookie, it can be tough, man. And you trying to, like we just talked about, you trying to learn the playbook, you trying to learn, formations, you trying to learn defenses, because defense is going to come every which way at you, man. It's not easy. So,
And give respect.
all I can say is what he did, as a rookie was, that was pretty good, man.
Shout out RG3.
I got a question.
What up, the RG3? What's up?
So my question, I watched y'all when I was on Hard Knocks. I watch the games a lot. Do you have like a staffer tells you where the cameras are? Because you stay on camera, brother. You get a lot of TV time, you know what I'm saying?
I go out there and do my job on game day, every game day. That's all I
Who was that in that first Hard Knocks that got hurt? And then they said, well, he's going to work with the trainer today.
Yeah, they'd be
And
there
then
out
he
there
was
with
like,
the pad.
yeah. I was like, okay.
Faking.
They trying to be an actor.
The more you can do, the better, man. The more you can do, the better.
So I got a question from a parent's perspective. So I got a little man. He about to be 5, right? He's starting. Matter of fact, who won the game when y'all was out there shooting?
I won, man.
I ain't see you hit one jumper. You hit about 3
Every
straight.
time I missed, he was like, "What is that?"
So he's showing favor in the basketball, soccer, and look like baseball right now. I ain't gonna press him to do nothing. But
shout out baseball.
Mo, you know what you looking at,
Uncle
Mo?
Lawrence bought him his first bat ball.
Mo, who had the best jumper on the team?
Back when we played,
Yeah, shout out to Neil. So my question is from the parents' perspective. How do you know when you're getting a good trainer? So we putting our kids in these sports, right? And these guys that might just be fathers, volunteering or so forth. But if you have a kid that's really showing passion, you want to put him in the best spot to win, right? So you start getting him a trainer, you spend a little extra time into what he's leaning towards. What should we look for as parents as a good trainer?
First and foremost, look at their background. What does their body of work look like? I can speak for Mo, man. He does a great job with his guys. Known Mo for a long time. He's been doing it for a while now. Definitely knows what he's doing. It's not to knock, any trainers, but a lot of times now you go on Instagram and a lot of people think because they got some ladders, hurdles, and cones, all of a sudden I'm a trainer. No, it's a lot that goes into it. And somebody that's been doing it for a while, you kind of take offense to it because, you think about certifications, you think about doing the research of the body, seeing how the body works. What will I cater to for this kid that might not work for the next kid? All those different things goes into it, rather than, just going out and running these kids to a couple drills, make them huff and puff, and, that's it. So
Right.
I would say the main thing is check out that trainer's body of work, who, not always about who you've trained, more so how have you gotten this kid better? When did this kid start with you? When did he finish? What transition did he make?
Got you. And then we're going to get to Mo in a minute. But the last question I got for you, and then I'll open it up to you guys. you've been in the league for, whether it's playing or training, for at least, the last 5-6 years?
Yeah, it's been 4. This will be 4.
4 years.
Playing it.
So, can you tell the ones that actually went to a good trainer versus the ones that was just athletic?
Nah, I mean, you know, some guys have God-gifted ability. You know, but at the end of the day,
Something wrong with the shirt, yeah?
Right.
He was, shout out, yo.
You're too funny, Mike.
I'm like,
You're too
I'm
funny.
looking at the AC.
Collar too tight.
you know, but some guys, quote unquote, have a God-gifted ability, and you know they get a lot of the notoriety and things like that more than others. But at the end of the day, you know, in order to get to the NFL level, you have to grind. No matter, you know, if you're the top guy on the totem pole, you're the 90th man on the roster doing training camp, trying to get on the 53-man roster.
Question for you about the psychology of it. So, I ain't gonna call no names, but you a young buck, you top of the class, you might even be #1 draft. You come in, all these expectations, you get hurt in your first game, you got pressure on you. All of a sudden, people doubting you. When you got to work with that player who's hurt, he got to get back out there. Do you also have to deal with the psychology? How do you deal with the psychology of getting him motivated to get back up and get back out there?
Paycheck better get you motivated.
Nah, I mean,
After RG3.
there you go.
I think, man, you know, it's all about what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish?
Have you had to have that type of conversation?
Me personally, I haven't really had to,
Okay.
but you know, just in general, you know, things happen. The game is very mental, just as it is physical. I will say that. You know, and sometimes you might get a guy that's frustrated for one reason or another. But at the end of the day, what's your main goal? You know, what do you want everybody to truly remember you by? So no matter if you get hurt or you're not getting as much playing time as you want or whatever, you know, just keep grinding, man.
But
Keep grinding.
so we gonna get the Mo, and then we gonna WCW. So Mo, you train in the area. How long you been training?
I've been training since October 2006, so about almost like 11 years.
Yeah. So, what advice? My son 5. I'm looking for a trainer now. I'm starting to get him into sports. You being one of the top trainers in the area, probably the best, if I may say. What should somebody look for in a trainer? What are the things we need to research first before we even sign that sheet to say, yeah, you my son trainer or my daughter?
You know what, like B said, man, doing your research. But one of the biggest questions I would always say is when you talk about your kid and you're investing, you know, this money into your kid, you're investing in this trainer. Always ask the question, why? Why is your son doing certain exercises? Why does your son need to go to this trainer? Like, ask those questions. Like, why? When trainers feel disrespected or feel some type of way because you're asking them why they're doing exercises, to me, if I got a kid, that's not the trainer I want to be a part of. You know what I mean? Like, that trainer should. I mean, because that's his time. That's his time to showcase what makes that person so good. You know what I mean? That's the time where it's like, hey, listen, I got a 5-year-old. This is why I'm doing it, because I'm seeing this in him or whatever it may be. Even though he's 5 years old, there's something he should be able to catch on to. Boom, boom, boom. Like, this is what I got. Now, once he picked this up, hey, this is the next stage. This is what else I'm gonna add on to it. My whole thing is, a lot of times parents already have the questions, already have the flags. They already see the flags. They just don't act on it. So when you got a 5-year-old doing the same workout as the 12 and a 15-year-old, they all doing the same workout. They all touching weights and stuff like that. Why is that? You know what I mean? My 5-year-old is getting prepared for something totally different than a 15-year-old. Mm-hmm. So why are they preparing? Why are they preparing the same way? They shouldn't be.
That's one flag. So that what age should boys, or let's just say kids in general, start lifting weights? Because I've been told you shouldn't touch weights till you about 9 or 10 years old. Is that right or wrong?
I don't have my kids touching weights until the 8th grade. Son, we're going to 9th grade. I don't have them touching weights at all. Like,
Doctor told me it was about your bones are still growing and platelets and stuff.
Yeah, I don't have my guys touching weights until like that 8th grade. Some are going into 9th grade. Nowadays, but nowadays though, you got your reclass and all that
Yeah.
other stuff. So I mean, you kind of speed the process up with those guys. But I don't have my guys touching weights until like 8th grade going to 9th grade.
Either one of y'all working with girls, man?
Yeah,
I got a
That's my
little.
next question.
Oh, well, yeah, because my little girl is a serious athlete. I mean, she shout out Brooke. She got a 3-point award and most hustle in Nike basketball camp this week. But anyway,
Shout out to the plug.
so I'm saying, do y'all work with little girls?
I mean,
Well-
me per I did when I, was back here in the area,
Yeah.
training and stuff, and Mo can obviously speak on that more.
So, I mean, would you consider taking girls as clients as well?
I have a girl client.
Or do you? Okay,
I have a
bet.
girl client. No, I mean my whole thing with training girl clients, I mean, there's no difference between training a boy. My expectations still the same. Like so, my verbiage, the way I talk, the way my expectations, I'm expecting the same thing, and the way I'm gonna talk will be the same thing. Like so, if they come in and if they feel like, hey, this is a day I don't feel like working out, you tell them, and I tell males like you can leave the gym. Like it's not mandatory. Like you go ahead and leave the gym. So. Like I don't do it for the money. I mean, of course you gotta collect money, pay bills, but I don't do it for the money. So my thing is, if somebody comes in and it's like they want to BS it, you go ahead and leave the gym and take your money with you.
Well, I have a question. I'm not sure y'all will answer this question though. If I'm a parent and I can say, look, when my son get to this level, steroids. What would you do about if somebody approach you about steroids? How would you avoid that? Speak on that.
I mean, well, first and foremost,
Told you exactly that's the question.
Steroids. First and foremost, on my realm now in the NFL, obviously is illegal. Regardless. But speaking, and I'm sure Mo can speak more on it, but it's my whole thing with the supplement and feeling to get that extra boost and stuff. Why not just grind? To get the way you want to be. Everybody, some people want to speed up the process and things like that, but I mean, I've always kind of been stayed away from. So if somebody was to come to me, I definitely would, try to steer them away from it.
Coach Mo?
I mean, anything illegal, man. I don't touch. I mean, like, see, you guys gotta understand too. These kids represent you as a trainer. You know what I mean? Like so, like whether I want to be a mentor or not, it's automatic. You know what I mean? Like those guys represent me. So when they go to the university, if they're throwing up in workouts, if they not in shape and whatnot, now I carry a bad name. You understand what I'm saying? So like what drives me is the fact that I want these guys to be successful. Like we all kind of grew up together, so. Growing up, we didn't really have trainers. Right. We didn't really have guys to push us and stuff like that. It was kind of like we kind of pushed one another, but we always had a chip on our shoulder to prove something. But nowadays, we are now in those positions to be those guys that we wish we had. So my whole thing is, man, like anytime you got guys going down the wrong path, whether it's steroids, whether it's marijuana, I mean, whatever it is, they represent me. So. Yeah, if anything bad, no, I definitely don't want them touching it.
Well, all right, fellas, we got this thing we call WCW, led by JB himself.
Freestyle JB.
You ready for your music?
He's still screwed.
I was looking at another cheek.
Okay.
But
two
this
week,
all right, y'all, they've been giving me a lot of flaxes on since I had a lot of chocolate.
Okay.
So this week I got Tiana, what's her last name? Harris from Survivor's Remorse, LeBron TV show. She plays the agent's wife on the jump. Nice little chocolate jump. Definitely one of the baddest joints on Showtime. I mean on Stars Network. Period. So,
what's her credit score?
Credit score about a 900. Wikipedia told me that.
It's just good though. She used that gel.
She been in a few movies too. Chirac. She been in Dear White People.
Bro, she playing Chirac.
The Asian
She
white.
looked like she used cocoa
Nah, not
butter.
Chirac. That's Survivor's Remorse. She played an Asian white.
Cocoa butter.
Oh, okay.
Now she used that shea butter.
Is that Ocean City?
That's that shea butter.
Good, yeah.
Well, cool, man. We want to say thank y'all. Y'all got any advice for anybody in the area? Any kids? Any players?
I'm thinking about that free, the 1-day seminar. If you can
Oh
set
yeah.
that up.
So what you got coming up, man?
Yeah.
One-day seminar, you know,
Put you on the spot. You can put you on the spot.
No. Hey,
come there
listen,
and
man.
watch.
I'm always willing to give back, man. I always willing to give back, man. So like anytime it come down to just like teaching and stuff like that, man, I'm always willing, man. So I mean, I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed with friends. I've been blessed with guys like B that I can always lean on. So you know what I mean. I'm always willing to give back.
So you just saying we about to set up something on the huddle now? We about to do it. What you said, Charlie?
like a 1-day seminar.
One day.
Seminar.
Parents come out.
I'm gonna come and watch eat sandwiches.
You know.
This sounds good. So Mo, we got you on camera.
Hey, shout out to Charlie people.
Shout out to Charlie. My man.
Charlie gonna buy some
Do you have
wings.
a ring in your gym?
A ring?
Yeah, with
No,
blood.
I ain't
damn.
I ain't got a ring in my gym, but
What you trying to do?
I
You trying to box
got
tonight?
gloves and
I'm
stuff
just
like
saying.
I got
Get in the
nephew
ring,
who
yeah.
wanna go
that.
into
You trying to
boxing.
get in the ring?
Hey.
Oh, I mean, you
my
go over to Hillcrest Box.
Who got a ring?
My boy, he going out to UFC gym and Crawford. You go to Octagon for free.
I ain't trying to go.
Oh, you ain't about that.
I ain't gonna spar with Jared.
I ain't about the octagon, yeah.
Yeah, he gonna come over like mine,
I be straight like Mark.
Do you train for boxers?
Yeah, I train Swift Jared Hurd.
Okay, I have a nephew who want to get into boxing, and so I need to get your light skin. Get your
Hey.
Both the light skin bombers.
Hey, can I just shout myself out for winning the 3-point competition outside early?
Yeah,
Charlie P.
ain't
buy
winning.
some wings.
You
I
got
got
out
my
first.
shots first, so I won.
got out.
I heard him.
All that
He
guy
won the
was silent.
contest
I won too.
for some wings.
No,
Charlie's band, he lost. Let's talk about who lost. Charlie lost. Shout out to Charlie P on the wings.
hey, appreciate
But
it.
seriously though,
Like
can
ranch.
we set something up though, and I ain't got. We'll talk off camera.
Yeah, for parents and all that.
Yeah.
stuff.
Nah, I mean kids, however you want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, man.
make it happen.
Anything for the people, B?
Man, for the kids, man, just keep your dreams alive. You know, every day might not be the best day, but at the end of the day, if you got a goal in mind, shoot for that goal. You know, don't let nobody shoot your goal down. And then if something don't work out, like I said earlier, don't put all your eggs in one basket, man. Always have different ideas going on. So.
Shout out Houston. Have a good season, man.
Yeah, we
Have a
can
good
shoot
season.
out. Be back to my normal game or two this year. I'm gonna try to make
Have a
2
good
games
season,
this year.
man.
Appreciate it.
Blessings to you.
Shout out to Gibson Training. Yeah.